Wabi-Sabi, the silent power of imperfect excellence. Perfection is ego, excellence is craft. Most men spend their entire lives chasing perfection, the perfect body, the perfect business, the perfect relationship, the perfect image. And in that chase, they never actually create anything. They never ship, they never execute, they never become excellent because they're too busy trying to appear perfect. Wabi-Sabi teaches the difference. It's an ancient Japanese philosophy that says imperfection isn't just acceptable, it's essential. It's where character lives. It's what makes something real. Today, I'm going to show you how embracing imperfection makes you more powerful than chasing perfection ever could. Let me show you what wabi-sabi looks like. Picture a Japanese tea ceremony from the 16th century. A master tea practitioner is preparing to serve guests. He reaches for his favorite tea bowl, a simple ceramic piece he's used for years. But there's something unusual about this bowl. It's cracked. Not just cracked, it's been shattered and repaired. The cracks are filled with gold lacquer that runs through the ceramic like veins of light. This is Kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. Instead of hiding the damage, the repair makes it the focal point. The cracks aren't flaws to conceal, they're history to honor. The bowl is more valuable after being broken than it was when it was perfect. Why? Because the cracks tell a story. They show the bowl has lived, been used, survived. The gold repair doesn't make the bowl perfect again. It makes it more beautiful precisely because it's imperfect. This is wabi-sabi, finding beauty, value, and power in imperfection. Walk through Kyoto, and you'll see ancient wooden temples. They're weathered. The wood is grayed and cracked. The structures lean slightly. They're not pristine. They're real. They've survived earthquakes, storms, centuries. Their imperfection is proof of their strength. A Western architect might restore them to look new. A Japanese master preserves the weathering because that's where the character is. The decay isn't a flaw, it's a feature. It shows the passage of time, and time is what gives things depth. Look at traditional Japanese rooms, tea houses, meditation spaces. Nothing is symmetrical. One flower in a simple vase, walls that aren't perfectly straight, intentional asymmetry, deliberate incompleteness. Why? Because perfect symmetry is sterile, it's mathematical, it has no soul. Asymmetry is organic, it's human, it's alive. The Western mind says, make it flawless. The Japanese mind says, let it be what it is. Imperfection is where the truth lives. Here's the revolutionary insight. Imperfection isn't a flaw to overcome. It's character to cultivate. The cracked bowl with gold veins is more valuable than a perfect bowl because it has a story. The weathered temple is more beautiful than a new one because it has history. The asymmetrical room is more peaceful than a symmetrical one because it's real, not manufactured. If perfection has ever stopped you from shipping, creating, or executing, if you've ever held back because something wasn't good enough yet, hit the like button. This philosophy is about to free you from the cage you've built. So what exactly is wabi-sabi? Wabi-sabi, chaji, is a Japanese aesthetic philosophy that's difficult to translate directly, but it essentially means finding beauty and depth in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. It has three core principles. Principle 1. Accept imperfection. Nothing is perfect, nothing can be perfect. Attempting perfection is an act of ego, not craft. The master potter doesn't aim for a flawless bowl. He aims for a bowl that serves its purpose beautifully, even if it's slightly asymmetrical, even if the glaze ran differently than planned, even if there's a small irregularity in the rim. Why? Because that irregularity is what makes it unique. That's what makes it his. Perfect uniformity is what machines create. Character is what humans create. Applied to your life. You're not going to have a perfect body. Your genetics, your injuries, your age, they create limitations. But you can have an excellent body that serves you well, carries you through life with strength and health. That's enough. That's actually better than perfect because it's real. You're not going to build a perfect business. There will be flaws, mistakes, things that don't work as planned, but you can build an excellent business that serves customers, generates value, provides for your life. That's what matters. Principle 2. Embrace simplicity. Wabi-sabi removes what's unnecessary. It strips away ornamentation, pretense, excess. What remains is essential, honest, true. A tea ceremony isn't elaborate, it's simple. A few precise movements, a simple bowl, hot water and tea. That's it. But in that simplicity, there's depth. The more you add, decorations, complexity, performance, the further you get from truth. Simplicity reveals what actually matters. Applied to your life. Your life is probably cluttered with things that don't matter. Projects that sound impressive but serve no real purpose. Relationships you maintain out of obligation. Possessions that create burden without value. Wabi-Sabi says, strip it down. What actually matters? What actually moves you toward your purpose? Keep that. Release everything else. Excellence lives in simplicity. Complexity is usually just ego hiding its insecurity. Principle 3. Honor time and decay. Nothing lasts forever. Everything ages. Everything changes. Trying to prevent this is futile. The weathered temple doesn't fight time, it honors it. The gray wood, the worn floors, the patina, these aren't flaws. They're evidence of a life well lived. Western culture is obsessed with preservation, with looking young, with maintaining the illusion of permanence. Wabi-Sabi says, let things age, let them change, let them show their history. Applied to your life. You're going to age, your body will change, your face will line, your energy will shift. Fighting this is exhausting and futile, but you can age with character. Your experiences will mark you. That's not damage, that's wisdom. Your struggles will shape you. That's not weakness, that's strength. The scars, the gray hair, the weathering of time, these aren't flaws. They're your kintsugi. They're the gold filling your cracks, making you more valuable because you've lived. Now, here's where this gets psychological. Modern psychology recognizes perfectionism as a defense mechanism, not a virtue. Research shows that perfectionism is actually an avoidance strategy driven by fear of judgment. Perfectionists don't aim for excellence. They aim to avoid criticism. So they never ship, never create, never risk, because nothing is ever good enough. They spend years perfecting a business plan instead of launching. They wait for the perfect moment instead of acting now. They hold back from relationships because they need to work on themselves first. Perfectionism creates paralysis. It's ego masquerading as standards. Wabi-Sabi replaces fear with participation. It says, create despite flaws, ship despite imperfections, execute despite uncertainty. Because here's the truth, execution beats hesitation. Always. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, perfection of character is this, to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, without apathy, without pretense. Not perfection of action, perfection of character. And character is built through consistent, imperfect action, not through perfect planning that never manifests. Seneca said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Your perfectionism isn't protecting you, it's preventing you from becoming who you could be. The fundamental insight: character is more valuable than flawlessness. A person with scars who keeps showing up is more powerful than someone with no scars who never risks anything. A business with rough edges that actually serves customers is more valuable than a perfect business plan that never launches. A relationship with conflict that's worked through is deeper than a performance of perfect harmony that's fake. Wabi-Sabi says, participate in life. Let it mark you. The marks are proof you were actually there. So how does Wabi-Sabi apply to modern men's lives? Everywhere. Creating content. The perfectionist spends months planning the perfect video, the perfect post, the perfect message. It's never quite right. The lighting could be better. The script could be tighter. The delivery could be smoother. So they never publish. They die with their message inside them because it was never perfect enough to release. Wabi-Sabi says, ship ugly. Publish despite the flaws. Your first video will be rough. Make it anyway. Your first article will be imperfect. Write it anyway. Your message will evolve, but it can only evolve if you start. The only way to get good is to be bad first, publicly, repeatedly. Mantra: ship ugly. Time corrects flaws. Building relationships. The perfectionist approaches relationships as a performance. He tries to appear flawless. No weakness, no vulnerability, no need. He waits until he's ready for a relationship, which means never. Wabi-Sabi says, vulnerability beats performance. Show up as you actually are, flaws and all. Let people see your cracks, The gold is coming, but first they have to see what's real. The deepest connections happen when people see each other's imperfections and choose each other anyway, not despite the flaws, because the flaws make it real. Trying to appear perfect in a relationship guarantees it stays shallow. Showing your weathered temple, your history, your struggles, your scars creates depth. Mantra: vulnerability is strength. Perfect people are boring. Entrepreneurship: the perfectionist builds the perfect product in secret for years. Market research, feature development, perfect positioning, perfect timing. By the time they launch, the market has moved, or they've run out of money, or they've burned out, or they launch and realize their perfect product doesn't solve an actual problem. Wabi-Sabi says iterations beat fantasies. Launch version 0.1. Get it in front of real customers. Let them tell you what's wrong. Fix it. Improve it. Iterate publicly. Your first version will be imperfect. That's fine. Perfect products don't exist. They evolve through use, feedback, refinement. The companies that dominate aren't the ones with perfect launches. They're the ones that shipped early, learned fast, and iterated constantly. Mantra: iterate publicly. Customers teach better than planning. Fitness: the perfectionist designs the perfect workout program, perfect periodization, perfect nutrition, perfect recovery protocols, and because it's so complex, they can't maintain it. They do it for 3 weeks, break the perfection, then quit entirely. Wabi-Sabi says, consistent workouts beat perfect plans. Show up. Train. It doesn't have to be optimal. It has to be sustainable. The guy doing basic barbell work 3 times a week for 5 years will be stronger than the guy who does the perfect program for 6 weeks, then quits. Your form won't be perfect. Your programming won't be optimal. Your nutrition will have flaws. But if you're consistent, you'll transform. And consistency requires accepting imperfection. Mantra: consistency creates results. Perfection creates excuses. Practical Wabi-Sabi execution principles. 1. Set a deadline, not a perfection standard. Instead of "I'll publish when it's perfect," say "I'll publish on Friday." The deadline forces execution. Perfection never arrives. Friday always does. 2. Define good enough, then ship. What's the minimum viable version that serves its purpose? Build that. Ship it. Improve it based on real feedback, not imagined perfection. 3. Count reps, not results. Did you show up? Did you do the work? That's the only measure that matters. Results follow consistent, imperfect action. 4. Embrace the asymmetry. Your strengths and weaknesses create your unique character. Develop the strengths, accept the weaknesses. Don't waste energy trying to be well-rounded. Be distinctly you. 5. Let time be your craftsman. You don't need to be perfect today. You need to be 1% better than yesterday. Time and consistency compound imperfect action into excellence. If you want the Wabi-Sabi execution checklist, 1 page, practical, no fluff, text Wabi to 325 378 6868 and I'll send it directly to you. Here's the fundamental difference between men. The loud man wants to appear perfect. He curates his image obsessively. His social media is a highlight reel with no reality. He doesn't start projects unless he can guarantee success. He doesn't show vulnerability because that's weakness. He doesn't ship work unless it's flawless. Result? He never creates anything real. His life is a performance for an audience that doesn't actually care. He's paralyzed by the need to appear flawless, so he never risks, never grows, never becomes. The silent man wants to become excellent. He doesn't care if people see the rough draft. He doesn't need to appear perfect because he's focused on getting better. He ships imperfect work because shipping is how you learn. He shows his scars because scars prove he's been in the arena. Result: he creates constantly. He learns fast. He improves visibly. Over time, his consistent imperfect action compounds into genuine excellence that the perfectionist, still planning, still preparing, will never achieve. The paradox: the pursuit of perfection guarantees mediocrity. The acceptance of imperfection enables mastery, because mastery is built through 10,000 imperfect repetitions. You don't get good by doing something perfectly once. You get good by doing it poorly 1,000 times, learning, adjusting, improving. The weathered temple is beautiful because it stood through storms. The tea bowl with gold veins is valuable because it's been broken and repaired. The master craftsman's work has character because his hands show decades of imperfect attempts. Your imperfections aren't obstacles to excellence, they're the path to it. Here's your challenge. Pick one thing you've been holding back on because it's not perfect yet. The business you haven't launched, the content you haven't published, the conversation you haven't had, the project you haven't started. Ship it this week. Ugly, imperfect, real. Not because it's ready, because waiting for ready is how dreams die, because your messy action beats someone else's perfect planning, because the only way to refine something is to first create something. Wabi-Sabi says, let it be imperfect, let it show your cracks, let it be real. The gold comes later, after you've been broken and repaired by experience. But first, you have to exist in the world, flaws and all. If you're choosing excellence over ego, welcome to the silent CEO. We don't chase perfection. We create consistently, improve relentlessly, and let our work show our character, scars, weathering, and all. Subscribe and join men who understand. Imperfect execution beats perfect hesitation. Watch the next recommended video on your screen. I'll see you in there. This is the silent CEO method. We ship despite flaws. We iterate publicly. We embrace asymmetry. We let time and experience mark us, knowing the marks are proof we participated. We understand character beats flawlessness every single time. Remember, the tea bowl is more valuable because it broke. The temple is more beautiful because it weathered. You will be more powerful because of your imperfections, not despite them. Ship ugly, iterate publicly, become excellent. This is the way.